Fantasy playoffs. And when we look at the playoffs, we got 6 teams remain. 6 teams are down in the toilet bowl division. Steven, obviously the playoffs are a huge thing. It's what everybody plays for, what you play the regular season. It's kind of a different playoff type setting because you got some teams that are under 500 that have made it. And one of those teams is Nappy Headed Foe, made it in at 6-7. Killer Bees comes in at regular season record at 8-5. Now, Nappy-Headed Foe had a huge victory. Obviously, a great Monday night for him.
Would you like to discuss that matchup?
I mean, really, here's what I think it comes down to. I mean, Mason Crosby really missing that field goal obviously killed me. I think about the Giants allowing Romo to go down with 2 minutes left and throw a touchdown.
That's what killed you right there.
There's a lot of different things, but, can't do anything about it.
No.
So, I'm not going to whine and complain.
You can't be and moan about it now, Dougie. It's over.
No.
And you just have a 9-month frustrating and horrible 9 months ahead of you.
Yeah, but we'll wait and see what happens. Obviously, I'm not happy about it, but we'll move on. But let's move on to this playoff matchup, round 1.
What a great matchup we have here.
See, I don't know that it's going to be that great.
It's going to be a good game.
Oh, it might be a good game. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of high scoring, is what I think.
I'm with you on that. It's going to be a typical frozen tundra style, low scoring, good defensive game.
Okay. All right, well, here we go. Tony Romo, Dallas quarterback, came up, like I said, huge against the Giants last week. Did not look like the typical Tony Romo. He didn't get sacked a lot. I don't think he had any turnovers. Against San Diego, do you expect the same thing, or do you think he's going to go back to true form? I mean, again, they still lost. It's still December.
It's still December, and he's going to make his normal stupid plays, as Parcells would call them. But I look for Romo to have another good day. It's not in prime time. Not a whole lot of pressure necessarily. And they're going to be down, I believe, in this game with San Diego putting a beat down on them early. I like Romo in points.
Okay. Rivers against Dallas, obviously. So this should be a pretty good game for both these guys to watch. As far as the stats go, they're very similar. San Diego gets a couple more interceptions than Dallas gets.
2 great corners.
So I think it'll be interesting. I will go with Rivers as far as the points because I just don't think he's going to have the turnovers and the sacks. That's why. Anyway, running backs, Matt Forte, Cadillac Williams both have tough matchups. Matt Forte didn't really look that great against St. Louis last week. And so, to me, if you don't look great against St. Louis, I don't know how you're going to look great against Green Bay.
Forte struggled all year as he was the number 1 pick in the draft, right? And
he got traded away.
He's done nothing but disappoint, and I'm afraid that he's going to continue that. And I really don't like the Cadillac Williams against the Jets defense that's not including the Wildcat is very explosive against the run.
Yeah. Well, on the other side, you got Frank Gore against Arizona, Steven Jackson against Tennessee. Let me ask you this. If you're Killer Bees, are you concerned about D'Angelo Williams for the playoff run? He's got a questionable next to his name. He didn't play last week.
You got to be. He's your keeper. He's the guy that you built your whole team around, and Mr. Williams. Now, luckily for the Dirty Sass, he has acquired Gore and Jackson along with Williams to kind of get a rotation going. But if Williams is out or questionable or probable all playoff long, that's definitely room for concern.
Yeah. But either way, Frank Gore, Steven Jackson both have good matchups, so I'm not too concerned about it. And if Williams gets to play, good matchup there. Wide receivers, Marshall, Ocho Cinco, and Chris Chambers. He's deciding to not play, he's going to go with Chris Chambers in that slot play. I don't know that he really has any other options, so it kind of seems like he's going to be stuck there. On the other side, Reggie Wayne, the Colts can clinch, so I do think that Reggie Wayne actually is going to have a good game this week so that the Colts can clinch, but after that, I don't know that he's going to be getting much.
I mean, what if they clinch by halftime? Does he come out after half?
Yeah, this could be trouble for Nappy. Terrell Owens last week against Darrelle Revis didn't look good,
shut down.
But against Kansas City should be okay, right?
And fairness to Owens, who does look good against Revis?
No. Jeremy Maclin had a decent game last week, but with Deshaun Jackson coming back.
The thing that I like about Owens, Wayne, and Maclin is they can all be game-changing with one play. Look at Terrell Owens has blown all year long. Then one game, he's 98-yard touchdown, couple other catches, gets rolling. That's the type of play that Nappy needs this week is big play out of his receivers.
Yep, I agree. You don't see him playing Barry and Moss or Coles, do you?
Berrien and Moss fit that mold, but their matchups aren't near as scrumptious as the ones that he has in there.
Okay. Tight ends, Tony Gonzalez and Jermichael Finley.
You don't have to say it. Jermichael Finley?
Yeah. Well, it's not on Monday night, and so I don't really picture Jermichael Finley getting much more than 2 points here.
He might not score the rest of the year.
Yeah.
As he's done his damage.
Yes, he has.
He's perfectly comfortable with the way he's played this year.
Yep.
And putting the dagger in the bean, he was really happy about that.
Well, if you look at the numbers, it might not be a bad idea to play Jeremy Shockey here, but I mean, I guess you could go either way. I think he's going to try to ride the hot hand, maybe.
That, and you have to throw the guy a bone. He got you to the playoffs.
That's true.
Start him in the playoffs.
Yep. Tony Gonzalez against New Orleans. New Orleans has only given up 1 touchdown to opposing tight ends. Not a great matchup either. Jets against Tampa Bay. That's a huge matchup. Jets give up, or Tampa Bay gives up almost 10 points to opposing defenses. The Niners against Arizona. That's a risky play in my eyes.
I don't like it.
Bears against Green Bay. You might still be able to get.
I don't like it.
Well, Cowboys against San Diego.
I don't like it.
Okay. So either way, you're kind of a little bit nervous here if you're Tom as far as your defenses, right?
Definitely. I mean, he might want to keep it that 8:30 game where he won't have to maybe even play a defense.
Yeah. All right. Well, analysis, final thoughts.
Dougie, like I said in the intro, I think this is going to be a very good game to watch if you like that tough style of football. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring affair for playoff style, and I think that the Killer Bee is going to pull it out within 7 points. And the only thing that might throw that off is the Jets' defense against Tampa Bay. Okay. That could be a gigantic game for the Jets. We've seen it before. Freeman threw 5 picks last week. The Jets are really nasty. That's the only wild card there.
Okay.
Everything else leans towards the Killer Bees.
I, too, am going to pick the Killer Bees, and I think that he will be playing Frank Gore, and I do not, and I think to try to maybe get more points. But I just wonder if because he won't really sit Frank Gore and play the 49ers defense if he's in that situation. Right. So I do think he will end up playing the 49ers defense, but I think he'll end up winning as well. Anyway, that concludes our first playoff matchup between Nappy Headed Foe and the Killer Bees. We both have Killer Bees taking this one and moving on to round 2. We'll be right back with our next matchup.